fucking announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog's a bitch-ass motherfucker. He pissed on my fucking wife. That's right. He took his hedgehog fucking willy dick out and he pissed on my fucking wife.
No. Doctor, wait.
And he said his dick was this big. And I said that's disgusting. So I'm making a call-out post on my Twitter.com. Shadow the Hedgehog, you got a small dick. It's the size of this walnut except way smaller. And guess what? Here's what my dog looks like. That's right, baby.
How's everyone doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Not really
Pretty
good,
good.
but just pretty good. Okay.
It's like okay.
Is really good better than pretty good, or is it the other way around?
I think really good is better.
Really good is
Because-
better.
Okay.
It goes pretty, really, and very. Do
I didn't know the ranking.
you want to do the intro?
Do I want to do the intro?
No, Panic, you should do the intro. You're the
I
Sonic
I
guy.
feel like you're the Sonic guy.
I am kind of a Sonic guy. All right. Well, welcome back to the Tokyo Podfathers podcast. I'm your host, Panic, and with me today is my beautiful co-host, Bex.
I need a pair of roller skates.
And two returning guests, Smurf and Angst. Hello.
Hi, I don't have a witty line to say.
You don't have a catchphrase?
It's actually pretty good. Nice job, Panic.
Thank you. And we're here to talk about the seasonal anime of winter 2025.
No.
No, we're not. Well, the first show is called Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
It is animation that partially takes place in Japan that came out.
It's a
in the
Japanese franchise.
So,
It is
yeah.
animated. And it is in Tokyo.
At one point, yes.
Is Sonic anime?
Sonic X is anime.
And Sonic Underground is anime. No, it's not because it's French. But Sonic X is.
Sonic X is. That's right. So anyway, pretty cool movie, right?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, same. It was a heavy on fan service, but not too heavy. And I think that's like the perfect mix. I noted down so many shout outs to Sonic Adventure 2. This was Sonic Adventure 2, the movie. As much
really
as they
was.
could without like going overboard, right?
Yeah. And I thought they had a really good balance because I know plenty of people who saw the movie and never have played Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah.
And nothing in it really, to them, from what I've talked to them about, nothing felt like weird or out of place.
Right.
Nothing felt like a forced like reference, other than
No.
maybe the pose that Sonic and Shadow do near the end.
Yeah. There is that pose they do as Super Sonic.
That's
and
like the one
Super
thing that
Shadow.
looks a little out of place.
It's like a little like wedged in there, right? But it's like it's not too bad.
Right.
And then it's like it's diegetic, I think is the word, right? Where it's
Sure.
like it seems native to the story. All these things that are like everybody, all 30-year-old guys are doing the Leo point meme, and all the kids are just like, "Wow, Sonic." They don't know, and they don't have to know because it all fits.
I felt like I was the only one in my theater who had played Sonic Adventure 2.
Probably worse. I don't think a lot of people. It's like as much as Sonic fans love it, I don't think it's very known outside of like diehard Sonic fans.
Feel like I'm sitting here and like the Chow Garden pops up, and I'm smiling, and I look around a bit, and everybody I see has just a perfectly straight face.
Yeah.
And I'm
Like,
like,
I've seen a lot of kids like at the theater. There were kids in the theater going, "Oh, I want that new Sonic X Shadow Generations, whatever, because I want to play something with Shadow in it." And people, because there's also a library there, so another day it was like parents telling their kids that not today, but we'll see Sonic soon. And I'm just like, I want to stop them and be like, you should play Sonic Adventure 2. You want more Shadow? That's the Shadow game. This is the game. But it's like that game is 25 years old.
oh god,
Oof.
Panic! Did you just say that your theater and library are in the same building?
Yes.
That's so weird.
There's also a restaurant.
Okay, now that's kind of weird, actually.
What?
It's like
a
going to your
library.
barber and then also doing your banking there. You know,
I guess. I mean, it's not like a big cinema. It's like 2 rooms.
Well, to be fair though, Bex, that is a thing.
Okay, I mean, fair enough.
Like
Okay.
you know, like Walmart will have a bunch of different stores up front, right?
Yes, they do.
They'll
They
have
like
they can have a
pharmacy.
barber and a bank.
I like a strip mall.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Sort of, kind
Walmart's
of.
a little bit different because they're like all encompassing or like
Walmart is like
yeah,
a small
stop shop.
nation.
As opposed to what if you went
itself.
to a barber shop that also like did your accounting on the side, like under the
Right.
table accounting? That seems a little like, all right, pick one lane. Come on.
That'd be fucking sick, dude.
They're giving you cuts in multiple places, you know.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a good.
Ooh, I set
That's
you up
the
for
end.
that. I like that.
So what do you think, Bex, as the resident not Sonic guy?
I am just a tourist.
You're just here for the clout.
I'm. If I could get clout from this movie, that would be awesome. So can I be honest? I didn't like it
Yes.
as much as you guys.
Okay. Well, you're wrong.
I'm probably wrong.
Expand.
I did feel like, well, my thing with this movie in particular is that I found it was like a tonal whiplash a lot of the time. I
Yeah.
found like I wish it was either just like, well, that just happened kind of ass movie with Sonic and friends, or like a super serious Shadow movie. I felt like a lot of the time, anytime there was like a really serious or like kind of dark moment, it was immediately undercut with like Sonic being quippy and shit.
I
Or
get.
not even Sonic. There are moments, I guess we'll just get into the movie, where Sonic is, I think this is when what's his human's name? Is it Tom? Tim?
Tom?
Donut Lord
Donut Lord.
is Tom. I'm pretty sure.
What's his
It is.
actor's name? It's
John Marston.
James Marsden, yeah.
Mar-
So when
James
James Marsden
Marsden.
is like
John.
Alright,
John
close.
Sonic.
when it looks like that he's dead, it's like Sonic
Oh,
is
yeah.
obviously with a lot of emotions. So he asks Knuckles where the emerald is, and like he's clearly going through a lot. And I thought it was really powerful at first, and then it was undercut by like this cut to Wade guarding it, which I can see that being kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I was like, I was feeling like emotions here, and then it was like, oh, it's just like a joke kind of thing. I don't know.
I think you've had to watch the Knuckles show to understand that.
I probably
you-
didn't need to watch.
I don't think you needed to watch the Knuckles show to understand. I mean, like I don't think there was anything more to understand. I mean, maybe in the Knuckles show he gets the Master Emerald, but
Right.
I feel like the joke was pretty self-explanatory in the movie.
I guess so. It's just like if you hadn't watched it, then you'd be like, why does Wade have it now? But I guess like yeah, you could make that assumption. Yeah.
Because I've only watched the first episode and it was bad, and I did not continue.
Did anyone here watch it to completion? I have one stupid question about it.
The Knuckles show?
Yes.
I completely forgot about it, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
Same.
All right. I
So,
heard there's
no,
a lot
I
of
didn't watch it
bowling
at all.
in that show. Like they learn how to bowl.
There's a lot of bowling in the first episode. I can
Okay.
tell you that much.
That's all I wanted to know because I
Yeah.
heard that there was like a lot of
There's a
time
whole-
dedicated to bowling.
There's a whole fight scene at the bowling alley.
That sounds kind of fun.
How does Knuckles bowl? He doesn't have fingers.
We were talking about this. Do they not take
I
off
think
the
he
gloves?
Well, some bowlers don't use the holes.
Okay.
Or they just throw
Like
the whole
like
ass
if
ball?
if you hold it and
Yeah, if you
I
kind
don't
of
know how to
underhand
describe
just
this.
like, yeah.
that's how you can get some curve on it. So you don't have to use holes to bowl.
feels wrong not to. It's like they're
That's because
there,
you're not a professional bowler.
I guess.
Yeah.
Shows what I know.
This guy does not know ball.
I don't.
My dad was.
This guy will
I
never
know
be
chess.
bowling.
Well, not professional, but like he went around the country doing tournaments and winning money. So I guess professional.
That's actually
Sick.
pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty sick.
Damn, your dad sounds pretty cool. Anyway,
Yeah,
Um,
but I didn't watch
That's
much.
actually
of
a major theme of this movie.
dads.
my dad being really cool.
Yeah.
dads.
Yeah, like
Or
family, right?
parental figures.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah, I liked how I liked the way how do I describe it? Like the spectrum of family throughout the
Right.
movie.
You've got the
I guess that seems a little simple,
supportive figures, and then you have Gerald.
well, because you have like Sonic and the gang and how they're with their family, and then Shadow and his family, and then the Robotniks, and they're
Yeah.
all kind of different. I guess that's kind of every media ever made ever, but I don't know. I liked it in this.
It's about family.
It's about family, and that's what makes it so powerful.
That's what's so powerful about it.
But I get the tonal whiplash. I guess the
Yeah.
one that stood out to me as being kind of weird was when the general died. Did he die? I don't even.
Yes.
I don't-
No, he didn't die. He was like,
I think he
you know,
died. No.
like a boulder fell on him, like the same kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
But did we ever
you thought he
see
was
him
dead.
again? Did we ever see him
He-
again?
Well,
not show
I
up
think
again?
if he died, then Tom couldn't have disguised himself as him later,
Why not?
because then it would be known that he's dead. That was like days later.
Yeah, but that was the thing, right? Wasn't it a surprise to her where she's like, "Oh, you're here," and he's like, "Yeah,
Yeah, but not like a
I'm not
surprise.
dead
Like,
after
oh,
all."
you're alive.
That's what I thought, that she was surprised that he was alive.
Maybe that was not my
But
read.
honestly, it wasn't clear. I don't know if he died or not.
Yeah, I don't think he died.
But they do that, and then there's like a whole. I feel like they went straight from that to jokes.
yes.
Yeah.
Like,
That
wasn't
is
it
a
immediately
good-
after that was
quite a bit in
when
the-
the goat milker showed up and
Yes.
started shooting everything, and it was like a super cool action scene. Yeah,
Goat milker.
I don't remember his name. I'll be honest.
Ancient Stone?
Agent Stone. Yeah, that's it.
Fan favorite Agent I fucking love Agent Stone.
Is he in the games at all?
No, and I want him to
Okay.
be.
Okay, that's why I don't recognize him.
I
Then.
saw someone
I don't.
someone on Twitter did like a really good like fan design for him as a Sonic character. It looked super good.
No, I was gonna say, like you were saying, Smurf, the scene with like the general, and then it cuts. I think the whole dance sequence is right after, not the first dance sequence in the movie. With the are they chows? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
The little, yeah. I think that whole sequence is immediately after that, and it felt like
I thought it
such
was
a like.
I
Was
thought
it before or
that.
after?
'Cause
Okay.
The Chow
It would
was
have
already
happened
dying.
before the restaurant got shut up, right?
Right. Yes. No, there was like always like a joke immediately after like a really serious scene. And I kind of maybe it's just my taste. I got a little annoyed after that, or a little annoyed about that after a while, because it seemed to be like consistently doing that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I could see that.
I will say the things I liked all the Shadow stuff. Like the whole Shadow backstory was like really cute. It was heartwarming. The roller skates, I thought that was fun. Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I didn't love Keanu Reeves' performance in this movie. I was being quiet about it beforehand. So
Well,
I like Keanu Reeves as an actor. I'll step up to the plate and go to bat for him.
Right.
This felt like the most. So I posted a picture of Keanu Reeves on his cell phone after watching this movie. It was trying to be cryptic. It was my way of saying I think he kind of phoned in this performance a little bit.
Oh, nice.
Yes, that was me being super edgy and super cool. No, I just think that he can be well utilized or well deployed in certain roles. He's not like the most versatile actor, but like if you put him in the right performance, he sings, metaphorically.
Yeah.
Agree with
This
that?
I understand. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you continue. I was just
Okay.
agreeing with what you were saying so far.
So I think he's good in things like John Wick, The Matrix. I'm going to be watching Speed later today with a friend, and I have a feeling he's going to be good at that. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Like he can be very campy if used correctly. I think that's his strong suit. Is he does camp really well, or something like Johnny Mnemonic. But on paper, I see why Keanu Reeves was casted in this movie. It makes a lot of sense. Because knowing Shadow, I'm not familiar with the games too much, but I know Shadow is like a guy hardened by, vengeance and tragedy. And I get that. And having someone like Keanu, who is kind of known for playing a guy like that, John Wick, of course, makes sense. My problem is it sounded like he was doing an impression of John Wick as opposed to playing John Wick.
Yeah.
So in this movie, he sounded more bored than anything. Whereas John Wick sounds exhausted and tired and like physically hurt all the time. But that's, I guess that's just my opinion. But
that makes sense. I think when you cut out the physical aspect of acting and he's just a voice actor, then you don't get as much Keanu
he's
Reeves
not
as-
the best voice actor. He's good in like physical roles, but he's not my favorite voice actor.
He's a very good physical actor.
Yes.
He's not very good at speaking roles, and this is a purely speaking role. And
Yeah, because you don't have that
fine,
whole
all
like
things
facial
considered.
aspect to this. You have
I think he did a fine job, all things considered. I am a little bit against the trend of hiring normal actors to replace
Absolutely.
professional voice actors in big
I thought that
movies.
was like I like that they brought Tails' actual voice
Yeah,
actor. to
but
the
that's
movies,
the
and I thought
only
that was
character
really
they've done that for. Tails is
and
the
I
only one
like
who
Idris
sounds like
Elba
Tails.
as Knuckles. I think he's really funny as Knuckles.
Yes.
Yes.
Once again,
Sonic,
the direction there is just Drax the Destroyer. Be literal. Be blunt.
Yes, he is basically
And-
just doing an impression of someone else, essentially.
And Sonic isn't a traditional actor either. Ben Schwartz
It's
is
Ben Schwartz,
generally
He's-
like an improv he's like an improv comedian.
Yeah.
Yep. He's
So I
pretty
think
good
that
as
works
Sonic.
pretty well.
That's
He's
fine.
very good at Sonic. Yes.
Yes. Like he's a bit too yappy, I guess, but that is also
He's very
Sonic.
yappy in this movie.
He
Oh my
yaps
goodness.
a lot in these movies, but that is like the part of being improv comedian. Improv as Sonic is like becomes Deadpool. Just never.
I was
shuts
gonna
up.
say this and that Deadpool coming out the same year. I was like, oh, have we reached a
Dude,
like
if they met each other in a movie, if that's a
Oh.
crossover.
Movies are
That
in
might be
the
too
movies are
long.
in the movies are in the yapping era now. I'm here for it.
The Yappiverse.
There's another movie that came out this year called Transformers 1 that I saw because it was Scarlett Johansson, of course, so I had to go see it. And there's a character, Bumblebee. He's voiced by Keegan-Michael Key, so you might know him from Key
Oh
and
yeah,
Peele.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He's a very yappy character.
Is that the bald one?
Yes.
Tall
Yes.
bald one? Yeah.
I know him from the Mario movie where he played Toad.
He is in the Mario
iconic-
movie, and he's
I think
not
it's an
very good.
iconic performance.
I never watched the Mario movie. Now I kind of.
I've actually maybe it's just me watching too many movies, but I've kind of reached like a limit of Keegan-Michael Key doing his thing. Like I'm kind of over it at this point.
It's kind
'Cause
of
he
like
does-
the universe with the Jack Black at the moment.
It was like Mario. It was he was in the Wonka movie, kind of doing a similar thing. I'm glad that he's getting the bag for like these big movies.
Yeah.
Good for him. But I wish he would do something a little bit different, or I would like to see something more challenging as a performance for him, personally.
Right.
But other than that, the movie was fine. I thought
Mhm.
also the movie looks kind of bad at times. I think the animation for the hedgehogs looks good. Like they have that down. It looks really nice. But there are times when you look at like the background and it's very obvious they didn't shoot it at that location. It like looks like it was shot in the volume or something. But maybe that's just me. Maybe it's the projection quality of where I saw it. I don't know. But there are times where I'm like, oh, this looks like a really bad CG background. I don't know why it looks like that, but sometimes it just looked kind of bad to me.
I don't
I
think I,
think
ever
it
noticed
was.
that. Go for it, Angst.
I think it was kind of all over the place because there is some like impressive CGI, specifically with like the Eclipse cannon and the effects on that. But then other times there will be like moments where you're like, is that really the Big Ben or is that just like an PNG superimposed with Knuckles in front of it? You know?
Yeah.
Also, this is a minor thing, but there's a lot of characters in the third one. So I noticed that they had to trim down the screen time of other characters. I noticed Tom gets actually a lot less screen time than you think compared to the hedgehogs. What's her name? His wife's sister, I believe, is played by Natasha
Rachel.
Rockwell, I think.
Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel. Rachel gets way less screen time. She shows up for one thing, and that's kind of it. And
But
was,
she's
like,
not
my
even.
favorite part.
It's not really her.
It's
but,
not
like,
really her. That's the
She is
thing.
there. Yeah,
To be honest, though, I think I mean I don't have anything against her. Like I don't have any dislike towards her or the character or anything. I could have just done without her. Like I'm perfectly fine with her just being a Sonic 2 character, and we don't really need to be bringing her back.
I guess I was kind of missing her because the whole like James Marsden at the wedding subplot of 2 was kind of my favorite part of 2, which is weird to say about a Sonic movie. Where like but
I mean that makes sense, and I think it makes sense for me as well because I didn't like that part. Like Sonic 2 is I think my least favorite of these, and a lot of that is because of the human stuff. So I mean, not that it was bad or anything, but it was just kind of like, all right, cool. They had their movie, they wrapped up their storyline. I don't need to see them again.
Right.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of humans in 2, but in this one, it's like they add a hedgehog and they add Gerald.
They also add Kristen Ritter. What is that her name? The lady I most know from Breaking
Bad. And she was also Jessica Jones, I believe.
Oh, that is right. She was Jessica Jones.
Her. Yes.
She was also the Bee in Apartment 23,
I was watching her show up and like, man,
that sounds right.
She looks like Jane but old, and I was like, oh, but Breaking Bad.
Oh no, that's literally
that was so long ago.
I was so excited. I had no idea she was in this movie. Maybe she was in promo stuff, but I didn't really watch any of it. I was so excited when she showed up because I really like her. But again, with you not remembering her name, the whole movie I was like, it's what is her name? Something Ritter. Yes. It wasn't until the end credits when it showed Kristen Ritter. I went, that's it. There it is.
Now I have to rewatch the movie so I can pay attention to the rest of it instead of just thinking about Kristen Ritter.
I mean, just thinking about Kristen Ritter is a pretty good way to spend an afternoon, to be honest.
That's fair.
Yeah, she was really good in it. It's something that bothers me a little bit. I kind of hate, and it's not a Sonic specific issue. A lot of media does this. I kind of hate that she was portrayed as a bad guy when her entire motivation is, I don't want this thing to fall into the hands of terrorists, and I'm doing my job.
That is her job, and she's just kind of following orders, even though her orders may be not the greatest for our protagonist.
Well, what was wrong with them? Well, for the protagonist, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a problem for everyone else, yeah.
But at the end of the day, she's just trying to make sure that random ass hedgehogs don't have access to like the most powerful weapon on the planet.
These goddamn hedgehogs running rampant. Yeah,
I also didn't like. I did not like the fight scene in the gravity room. I thought it was very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Is that the one where they have the jackets?
No, it's the one with
I
the
don't know.
gravity
It's the one with
plates.
the tiles that some are.
Oh, the sticky tiles, yeah.
Some are like low gravity and some are high gravity. I felt like it was really weird because like sometimes you'd see characters like float and then fall and then float and then fall. I'm just like, how are they moving so much? Like that whole scene, I'm just like, this doesn't. I feel like if you were to zoom out and look at what was happening, you wouldn't make sense.
No. You know what else did make
just?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that just confirms some power scaling things. Like, Sonic's stronger than Vegeta because when Vegeta's in a gravity room, he's on the floor and he's not moving at all.
Well, so was Sonic at first.
I mean, that's true.
So we can also confirm that Dr. Eggman is stronger than Vegeta.
Yep. Who isn't stronger than Vegeta?
Most of Dragon Ball Z.
Most of Dragon Ball. This just means Eggman would mog any single person in Dragon Ball. Or maybe Goku. Who knows?
What did you guys think of Eggman and Gerald?
I thought there was too much of it. I enjoyed it overall, but I thought
Jim Carrey is an actor who likes to go big, and he went so big that he acted 2 characters in this movie.
It's like, according to like statements by him and stuff on Twitter, it's like this is the only role he's actually like interested in playing, seemingly.
Yeah,
he's like, I want to come back in the 4th one. It's like, but bro, you died. Both your roles blew up on the space station. It's like
So-
it's so funny that he's so into this role, but I do think there's a bit much of it. Like I get that they have the golden goose of like him. What's that Eddie Murphy movie? He
The
plays
Nutty
both roles.
Professor.
Nutty Professor. Yeah, him playing both roles, playing like with like against himself. It's like that it worked great and they did a good job, but it was too much. They indulged a little bit too much. Although the dance
It's
off
a
was great.
very big performance. Yeah. Okay. So I just want to say that is the first time I've heard "Galvanize" in maybe like 10 years. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's that song with the really iconic string sample. Very cool.
Like-
that.
Like,
No
so-
5-year-old kid will know what the fuck that
Yeah.
song is.
what-
No.
what song-
It's never been in Fortnite. They don't know.
Is
it.
that the push the button song?
Yeah.
Push the button, my finger.
See,
on the
that's been
button.
used. That's been used all year in like a Dodge commercial or something. I've heard it so many times.
It's a
My
push to start
finger
kind of done.
is on the button.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
button. Now,
But this
one
song has
thing about
actually a
that,
lot of needle drops.
like
It
speaking of
starts with 99 left balloons, which I have no idea why Sonic,
right.
because they do the race in the forest set to 99 left balloons. I have no idea why. It's a cover.
that's a good song.
There's another. There's a Firestarter.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole makeover scene was set to Firestarter, which I didn't really
Twisted
get, but I
Firestarter.
thought it was funny. I was like, okay, all right.
Isn't it just because he's like getting his head shaved and Prodigy guy had a crazy haircut? That's the
He's a
connection I
twisted
made.
Firestarter.
He's a twisted Firestarter.
Twisted Firestarter. Yeah, good stuff.
Fucking
it.
love Prodigy. Now with the gravity thing and inconsistent like physics of that, one thing that bugged me in the laser dance off is that they showed that the lasers will literally cut you in half. And then once they start dancing, they're just bouncing lasers off their face. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, so that
trying to think these lasers are
immediately
made of
stood out to me,
cardboard.
and I was like, I can buy into the you have anti-laser suits, whatever. Your heads are completely.
Your heads are naked.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, couldn't wear
But it's
helmets.
fine.
Whatever,
It's
that's
fine. It was a spectacle. It was fun.
I hated it.
I can't wait to see
it,
that.
bu- it
TikTok or
bugged me for all of 15 minutes or however long that dance off lasted.
It goes for a
just,
while.
That's absolutely not my kind of humor in any way. And I was like, I
No,
mean,
when-
I'm not like mad at it. Like I was just sitting there like, this is for the children here.
This felt like
this
very
is
much
not for
the
me.
kids.
Like other movies have done the goofy dance through a laser section thing, but this one was like 5 times too long.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean when I say that like too indulgent in the
Not
the-
only is
the
it like
content.
for the kids, I think compared to like other laser room dance through things, they most of the time in other movies, characters don't have things that could like shield them against the lasers. Like they're dancing through the lasers so they don't like trip the lasers or like
Right.
get hit by
Right.
the lasers.
Right.
This
Whereas
case,
this
they
is
don't
like
give a
they're just
shit.
dancing in the lasers. Like they
Right.
just don't even give a fuck.
Yeah, no.
Which
So it's not as much for the kids as I think it was for Jim
somebody.
Carrey. It was for Jim.
Yeah, I think Jim Carrey,
It's for
Jim
Jim
Carrey
Carrey.
insisted on dancing through the laser. They're like, all right, fine, we'll do that.
Wouldn't it be funny if we did a 15-minute dance off in lasers? Yes.
How do we feel about the assistant in this movie?
I like him. I always like him.
The Agent Stone.
Yeah,
I like him.
He's a wonderful character.
I was sad to
He
see
did-
him kind of get sidelined by
got
intentionally
sidelined a
sidelined by Robotnik because of his choreo
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
I liked when he talked with Tails about like being number 2, and then
Yes.
Tails is like, "Me and Sonic are best friends, aren't you?" And
We're
the
like a
doctor
team.
like that.
That's what makes us a team. We're equal. Just like you and Eggman, right? You're best friends. Yeah. Yeah. Best friends.
I feel like he had good development, even though he wasn't on screen as much. Though, I
Yeah.
think they used his time well.
Him being sidelined felt very intentional, and it was like
Chilling out with the
off.
Shadow and the Crab. It's like
Making guac.
Yes.
Gotta have
making
that.
guac.
Gotta have that.
Revenge guac.
Gotta have that guac.
It'll be revenge guac.
That was triggering to me specifically. because
Why you don't like guac?
it's been a thing. This is none of you care at all, but this is about for football. The Saints coach got to have that guac became a meme while we all made fun of how awful he was before he got fired. So it was a little bit triggering to me specifically.
All right.
Are they
Fair.
But nobody else is gonna feel that way.
That's fair. I think it's funny they acknowledge the shadow Latina meme with Gabriella. She should simply kill the two others. She's not a trophy to be won. Watching fucking telenovelas. It's great.
It should be noted that Panic has just wrote guac toi
Guac-tua.
in the chat.
Guac-tua.
Guac-tua on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
pointing that out. I didn't want
Well,
to.
thank you for
interrupt.
typing it out, I guess? Question mark? I don't know.
It's like it's a note for later.
You know, so
We'll save
so
it
that
for later.
so that scene with Shadow, I kind of feel like Shadow was too close to Knuckles sometimes.
A little bit, like the fish out of
Like with-
water.
Like
Very
that's a
literal,
line
yes.
that I would 100% expect Knuckles to say is, "Oh, why doesn't she just kill both of them?"
Why does he not
something.
simply defeat the others in hand-to-hand combat?
Or something like that, right? I'm like, so for Shadow, it's like I'm just like that's a Knuckles thing. It wouldn't say that.
Kinda.
There's a reason for that, and it's pretty obviously the PG rating. You know, he can't have his real gun. He has the motorcycle. No
So-
dams. No, you're going straight to hell.
Damn. It's so awesome that they give him
Oh,
a
man.
motorcycle.
Where's
Makes
that
no
damn
sense.
chaos?
He's way faster without it. Why? And then they
Well,
do
he,
a
like-
it was obviously to do the vertical Akira slide up the side of a
Oh,
skyscraper.
that was sick.
That's awesome.
I popped off when he pulled out the gun. I was like, they did it. And again, I looked around and nobody else was smiling. And I'm like, nobody here knows what was happening.
It's Shadow with a gun, you idiots.
I'm like, it's Shadow
awesome.
the Hedgehog.
The Hedgehog. Like one thing, actually, in hindsight, I would have loved, because it's the Sonic Adventure 2 movie, I would have loved to have Rouge in it for personal reasons as well. I love Rouge.
That's next movie.
It's like, that's next movie, right? It's gotta be. They're
I mean,
adding
I-
Amy. They're
Well,
adding
don't-
Amy,
and
guys.
Robosonic. So,
And
you know,
Robo
Metal Sonic.
please.
Metal Sonic. I'm sorry. I'm just
Robo
curious.
Sonic. Fucking tourist over here.
Honestly, Panic, though, I hate to break your heart. I don't think Rouge is ever going to be in these movies.
No, I don't think so either.
Well, if they do, like enough to get to Sonic X, i.e., Sonic 10, maybe Rouge will be in it. Who knows?
I like the reason I think she'd be great in the next one with Amy is that obviously Knuckles is gonna tease Sonic about having a girlfriend, and Rouge could be there to like counter tease, put him in his place.
A love triangle?
That would be a great dynamic.
Not really a triangle.
not a triangle. Like
Hmm.
she's into Knuckles, and Knuckles is gonna be because he's like he's like very little brother energy in the way he teases people. So he's gonna be like,
Mm.
"Ha ha, Sonic, you have a girlfriend."
This guy fucks. We should make fun of him.
Yeah, Sonic doesn't fuck. There's no way.
It's too fast.
I know where Rouge would fit because you know Idris and Keanu discussed this on Twitter. I saw this post where they wanted a Shadow and Knuckles show. So
Mhm.
since Rouge is like important to both of those characters, she could be there, but like I'm just gonna take that with a grain of salt. But I would love if that went
She was
through.
literally the only thing missing from like the hero side and the dark side of Sonic Adventure 2. And this movie had 2 heists.
It does
That's
have some
true.
heist.
She's the heist woman.
That is true.
Although pretty easy heists. Like they call for Knuckles and he just busts through the wall. It's right there. It's like no security needed whatsoever. He can just bust in. They didn't have to risk Tom's life at all. Could have just broken through the wall.
I wonder if they're going to add anybody else next movie. I think Metal Sonic and Amy.
Metal
might
Sonic
be
and
about-
Amy is probably plenty.
Probably about where they
At this
stop.
There's going to be so many characters. You're going to have to, like, yeah, it's a lot.
What if they add Charmy the bee and Vector the alligator? Vector the
And Cream.
crocodile.
Yeah, and Cream.
Big's the
Cream,
cat.
yeah. Cream and cheese, Big the
cheese.
cat.
I'm disappointed Big hasn't been in here yet. Like, I don't
Why?
need him to be a full character, but like, put him in the background of shit, just like
Froggy!
randomly in the background somewhere. Like in Sonic Adventure 2, he's in every level in the background somewhere.
They go to Waterworld. He's there looking for Froggy.
But I would have just put Big in background of random shots.
But he doesn't like. That would be such a weird thing to have in this otherwise perfectly human world.
Are you saying the games are any different?
Yeah, because those worlds are not 100%
what?
human. It's like you look at the level design; these roads were not meant to be driven on. Like
Okay,
loop-de-loops.
That's-
No one lives here.
But the president literally drives on that road, though.
Yeah, but that's like the most boring level design of all time. It's just flat road in this floating in the sky, no less. Like no city around it, or is there?
No,
No.
there's not.
In the cutscene there is,
In the cutscene, there is.
but in the driving stages, it's just like floating in the sky. It's a perfect loop. He's not going anywhere.
But I'd like to see them. Apparently there was Gamma was in the movie somewhere. I didn't
the
see
robot?
him, but I heard people talking. Yeah, the robot from Adventure 1.
That makes sense, right?
I didn't see him, but some other people mentioned that they saw him in the movie.
Makes
I must have
perfect
missed that.
sense. Yeah, same. I mean,
There was someone
fits in.
who was absent from the movie though, from Sonic Adventure 2.
The president.
Surprisingly,
The president.
I mean, yes, the president, but I'm talking about a certain giant lizard who is the half brother
No,
to Shadow.
The Biohazard is in the movie. That's the monster movie
is?
they're watching on the television. Him and Maria.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they were watching the Bio Lizard. Yeah.
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
I have a whole list of fucking Sonic Adventure 2 references they made. Like, that's one of them. The Biohazard
I
movie
forgot about
they're
that.
watching. They didn't say Faker ever, but they did say, you look like me. Why do you look like
Yeah.
me? You look like me. But no one said Faker. That's too bad. No one interrupted each other.
Yeah, they need to talk over each other for the true Sonic Adventure 2 experience.
It's like the helicopter quote. And it's like, talk about low budget flight. No
I
food
love
movies.
it. Oh, okay. I'm so glad you noticed that too.
Right.
I was
I
so
almost
excited
did
when I heard
because in the
when I
game
heard that.
in the game you don't hear the first half of the quote because it's being talked over by a radio and the pilot and the soundtrack. So it's just like no food or movies. I'm out of here. It's like these guys know their shit, right? I think the gravity tile's probably also a little bit of a reference to the later stages. The command center on
Crazy
the
Gadget a bit,
yeah, right. Command center looked a lot like the command center
where
in-
you fight Eggman.
except the
Mhm.
glass panels on the floor in the game is just like
Yep.
a hole here. You fall through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Eggman's phone rings, and you hear like 0.5 second of his theme song.
Right.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
I am the Eggman. It's like 10 seconds in to go na 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 na. That's
And,
hard to hear.
Super Shadow uses a Chaos Spear against the robots in space too.
Yep. Oh, that's not
right.
an Adventure 2 thing, I don't, right? That's a
No, he makes like a
different game?
shooting attack. That's like out of nowhere, but it's pretty cool.
Well, that's from a different game, I think.
Live and Learn played twice.
No, well, kind of.
Oh,
So they played Live and Learn, which is what plays at the end of Adventure 2. Then there's like another version, which is the main.
It's like the
theme.
cinematic, whatever, orchestral version.
It's what plays in the main menu of Sonic Adventure 2.
That's
They played that as well. So
They did the pose.
the pose, which
blew up the
I felt
moon.
like they blew up the moon.
They
We love
almost did
blowing
a
up the moon.
Citizens of Earth thing, but like he does do a video to that that bent corner screen, but it's not a.
Yeah.
I'm gonna destroy the world. Behold my power. It's like I'm saving the world. There's probably more that we missed, but it's like there's so many
Yeah.
direct references to that game. It made me so happy. Like no one else, none of the kids in a theater would even bat an eye.
No.
To them, it's just a movie.
I mean,
and that's
we also
perfect.
we missed the biggest one and the most obvious one. I think was the Chow Garden.
Oh yeah, Chow
Yep.
Garden, obviously.
I would like to visit the Chow Garden. Is that a real
Me
place?
too.
I'd like to
I don't think so.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if there's like a temporary
like a pop-up one, yeah.
pop-up one somewhere.
Maybe, yeah.
Makes perfect sense. Like they made one for the movie. They have the suits.
So in this universe, Chows exists as their own separate thing.
They
not as, like,
exist
a
as like a
Sonic thing?
merchandise thing, I guess.
Okay.
It's like a TV show, I suppose. It's like a Hello Kitty type thing.
Yeah, that's kind of the
Did you
vibe
guys
I
like
got
it when
from
Sonic said Konnichiwa?
Konnichiwa?
That
No,
was
not
funny.
really. But it's okay. Is it better than Piece of Shiitake
Oh,
Planet?
piece of shiitake is kind of funny. Yes, it's all
Yeah.
marginally funny.
And no one said Sayonara, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Is that a
What are they
reference?
supposed to?
That's what Sonic says at the end of SA2.
Oh,
He says
yeah.
Sayonara?
He
Oh,
says
I guess so, yeah.
Sayonara.
And there was one other absence, which is Black Doom, but he's not an SA2, but he is Shadow's father, technically, aside from Gerald. You know, Shadow has two dads, very progressive.
I must have
But
missed that when I
he's
played
all
Shadow the Hedgehog.
over Shadow Generations, so I would expect Black Doom to be at least hinted, or
But
maybe
Black
like
Doom,
he's not like PG enough because
but Black
he's
Doom is
literally
like
talking about genociding all humans.
he's lame. I don't like Black Doom at all.
I mean, he is a little
Well-
eyeball that gets beat up. So
Maybe next movie, because Shadow is coming back. They did tease that at the end of the
They
movie.
should get Tom Hardy to do his Venom voice as
No, they
Black
shouldn't.
Doom.
Nope.
Yes,
nope.
they should.
No, they
Shadow.
shouldn't get Tom Hardy to do anything.
I just hope they bring back. Like technically, they both died at the end, but
Did you not watch the post-credit scene?
I did. What? Yes, the one with Amy.
The other one.
There's another one. What was the other one?
sorry,
Oh
I
my
left
God.
before that too.
Oh
I
my
needed the
God.
restroom.
Okay, it shows Shadow's bangle on the ground, and then Shadow's feet come into frame as he bends down to pick it up.
Shadow feet.
Well, Shadow's hover shoe things.
Oh, okay. Well, great. I mean,
But the second post credit scene was, oh, Shadow's still alive.
to the surprise.
There's
of
no way
everyone.
he was going to die. Like,
Right.
it's Shadow. Like, yeah,
It's Keanu
I
Reeves.
mean, that's how, he dies in Sonic Adventure 2 there in the same way.
Yeah,
And
but
then they
he's
bring
in-
him back.
But he's in all the
And
other
then he come
games.
back in every other game too, but he does die in the game.
He
there.
comes back as either a clone or a robot, or what is he? We don't know. Nobody knows.
And
Or
it's
is he-
cool
is he
when
real
Shadow takes off his bangles because, like, in Sonic 06, like, the one good scene in that game is he takes them off and he's like, if the world chooses to become my enemy, then I will fight as I always have. And it's like,
Fuck yeah.
oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Fuck
That's
yes,
not true.
Shadow.
There's another good scene in Sonic 06.
Is that when he kisses the human?
It's when he just kicks Silver in the back of the head as hard as he can.
Oh, that's
oh yeah,
right.
that was raw.
That
too.
animation looks so silly because the big head and big feet.
when he just yells chaos control and then just kicks him. It doesn't do anything special. Just like a front flip and kicks Silver in the back of the
Chaos
head.
control. Oh, he didn't say chaos control in this.
He did not.
That's too bad. Well, he didn't need an emerald to teleport, I guess.
No.
The chaos emeralds are weird because in this they're like in the master emerald. They're like
That's how they
one
are.
and the same.
That's how they are normally.
No, in SA2, the master emerald is like a big green emerald, and
then it shatters into the chaos emeralds.
but don't you collect the chaos emeralds in other games?
In Sonic 3 and Knuckles, they do come from the Master Emerald, and then they just scatter.
Okay.
Panic. It's the very first Rouge scene. This should be a formative memory for you.
It is.
It's when Knuckles and Rouge are arguing over it. Eggman comes and picks up the Master Emerald, right? And then Knuckles punches it, and it shatters into all of the Chaos Emeralds.
No, it shatters into shards of the Master Emerald. That's what you collect as Shadow and Rouge, and like shards. It's not the Chaos Emeralds.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
It's like the way I always saw it is like you need that to nullify the Chaos Emeralds, not that they're in it. Because Shadow just has one. from the very beginning, and they can make
That's
fake
true, yeah.
ones. I thought of them as separate, and then for the purposes of the movie, they're one and the same, and somehow Shadow and Sonic can share them, even though the Master Emerald is
Yeah.
in Sonic.
I thought about that too, but I was like, whatever. I don't
Like,
care.
who cares?
We're getting a Super Sonic versus Super Shadow fight. I'm
It's
not gonna
sick.
complain
Maybe
about
it's not
the
actually.
details
Maybe
here.
you don't actually need the Chaos Emerald. Maybe it's just the power of friendship or whatever.
And there's
Right.
no fake emerald this time, so there's no
Oh.
Eggman tricking Tails and Bean. How did you
How
know
did you
that
how did
was
you know
not
that was
the
the
real
fake-
one?
Because
You just told me, Fox Boy.
Fox Boy. And then the big surprise face. God, that game is so good. So
And bad,
stupid,
but
and
so
bad.
good.
So good though. Mostly good.
It's the kind of game that I love so much, but when I watch other people play it and they hate it, I'm just like, I get it.
I get it, but also they don't get it.
Exactly.
Next challenge is to beat it without pressing analog stick. Like apparently you can.
You can't do Tails levels though.
You can't know, but like that was obvious from the beginning. Like you can I was shocked to find out you could do the knuckle stages.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You just have to spend 2 hours floating around. It's like it's not gonna be fun, but it is possible.
Yeah.
So anyway, awesome movie.
Awesome movie.
I keep
8
seeing
out of 10.
I keep seeing that it did better than Mufasa, the Lion King. That's great.
I don't know what the actual numbers are now, but I saw that it was on pace to be the highest grossing of the three.
What's the third? Oh, of the Sonic movies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Probably I can find that out. Like Mufasa has made more money overall, but Sonic did have like a twice as big opening weekend.
Sonic destroyed it in the opening weekend, yeah.
Which is crazy.
Which is good
I mean,
because we want to
Is
discourage
it that
those
surprising?
garbage.
Nobody was really like hyped for Mufasa.
Yeah, but the Lion King is the highest grossing.
But the
animated
first
movie.
one made a more billion dollars.
I think. Well, I was gonna say, I think, yeah, Lion King made $1 billion, but like people were like, this looked like shit. No one liked the Lion King when they saw it. So they see like a Mufasa movie, they're like, this is fucking stupid. I'm not watching this shit.
I think children probably liked it.
Children might, but like adults, I don't think they would.
Yeah,
Sonic
but then
3
they take their children to the next one because the
This
children
is
like
true, but there's a lot of adults without children. I don't know.
Disney adults.
I mean, I know someone who went and saw the movie who is not a child, nor does he have children.
Did they want to go see it?
Somebody else went to see it and they just went along.
Oh, see, that sounds about right. Yeah.
As of now,
And-
Sonic 3 is like 120 mil behind Sonic 2.
120 million?
Worldwide.
It'll keep
It'll
quite a
catch
bit.
up.
It's got
It-
legs.
I have no finger on the pulse in regards to how much movies make domestically, internationally, all that stuff. So I can't tell you if that's a doable.
It's at 285 and Sonic 2 is at 405.
So I have no idea.
I don't feel I get the feeling that it won't make it there, but it'll still like
Regardless, though, I think I had a higher opening weekend though than 2,
probably.
maybe.
I think they had
But I'm happy.
Oh no,
if it made a
2 had
profit.
2 made 12 million more for opening domestic.
Not that much though.
Like
I mean,
60
it's a lot. I mean, $12 million is a lot of money, but relatively, that's pretty close.
Yeah. Sonic 3 made 2 million more opening than the first one did. It seems shocking to me. I didn't know the first one had that big of an opening weekend.
Well, I guess the first one probably some people were worried about it, right?
Maybe.
Especially with the original Sonic. Okay, I was watching Critical's review of this movie, and he brought up a point that he said, as much as I love the new Sonic design, he's like, somewhere in some other universe,
There is
exists
shadow.
a shadow design of the original.
I have
just of the
been
original Sonic.
thinking about this ever since they said shadow.
And it's probably the most cursed thing you could possibly imagine.
I have God, like that has been in my mind since they revealed Shadow at the end of 2. It's like in some universe, in some sketchbook somewhere, there is a cursed Shadow and Tails and all these other characters.
Well, definitely Tails, because Tails was in the first movie.
Yeah, he showed up at the end, so definitely there's a sketch of him.
They
somewhere
definitely
looking like-
had the
looking like
shitty
some
old
shitty
model of
stuffed
Tails.
animal farce.
Yes, that
I
definitely
want to.
exists.
I want to see this so bad. Like they have to have a finished version of the first one with shitty
Yeah,
Tails in it.
absolutely.
Absolutely, somewhere there is. Man, what we could have had. We could have had it all. Like,
On the topic of Mufasa, I just wanted to say I saw earlier on Twitter someone quote retweeted a tweet about Mufasa and Scar playing together, and then they said,
it's just
"Who
two
is who?
lines.
Which is
Who's who?
which?"
You literally
And the
cannot
thing
tell.
is, in Sonic 3, that's supposed to be a plot point. You don't know whether Sonic is Shadow or
Yeah,
if
they
they get
look
mixed
so
up
similar.
because they look so similar. They look nothing alike. They're different colors, but you actually can't tell who is who, who's Mufasa and who's Scar in Mufasa,
Untrue.
which is interesting.
Scar is slightly paler.
No, Scar. Well, no, Scar should be darker.
I think he's paler to show that he's like.
But
evil,
like,
I guess.
no, but like
Unhealthy.
regular Scar is darker than any other in the cartoon.
I
He has
know,
darker fur than anybody else.
but this is to show that he's like sickly, I guess.
He's not sickly.
Something's
he's just
wrong with
evil.
him.
Dark fur.
Yeah.
Dark is evil.
Dark is evil, but not in 2025, Smurf.
Right. Sure.
So this should have been Silver the Hedgehog as Shadow, just be evil.
I don't know anything about Silver.
think-
Honestly.
Silver's from the future. That's all I know.
I know that.
They haven't really done anything with Silver. We need a year of Silver like we did Fearless
Year of
Year of
Luigi?
Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Year of
Like-
Luigi. I remember that being a thing, but like,
There's
what
no
actually
Luigi.
came out of the Year of Luigi?
They didn't even do Luigi's Mansion 3 in the Year of Luigi. They didn't do shit.
If anything, this year was
I was
the
about
year
to
of
say,
Luigi.
this was the year.
If
of
you know, you
Luigi.
know.
2024 was the year of Luigi. Shout out.
We really need a year of SBO. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, how far down in the movie line do we gotta be to get SBO and Silver and Blaze and all these like weird one-offs?
And how would Vector
Range
the
characters.
Crocodile look?
Oh, he's gonna be so awesome.
Just give us a Sonic Heroes movie. Just introduce 18 new characters and make them do a tournament.
When they fought Shadow in Tokyo, they even did the totem pole thing from Sonic Heroes.
The totem pole thing?
Well, like
Oh, yeah.
Tails holding a top and then Knuckles Sonic, like being held in a line. That looked like maybe a coincidence. I don't know, but I thought of Sonic Heroes right away.
I think it was intentional. Flying formation.
Right. He definitely can't take all three of us at once, right? In a fight, right?
And you know, Metal Sonic is the main villain of Sonic Heroes, so maybe
Ooh.
next
Oh.
movie is the Sonic Heroes adaptation, like this was the SA2 one.
Is he the main
guess-
villain of Sonic Heroes?
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute since I played that.
I did not play much of. I did not like Sonic Heroes.
I know that's the
didn't
one
play
where
much of it.
the dark storyline reveals like the whole room of Shadow clones.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, it's
Shadow's
like Kenny from South Park.
Yeah. But like cooler because it's Shadow.
Nothing's cooler than Kenny.
Kenny is pretty cool. What's his hero name when he's a superhero?
Mysterion.
Mysterion. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Good movie. Solid amount of fan service.
Yeah, I mean, that probably played a big part in it. Although I know people who didn't play the games who I think liked it as much as I did. So, but I
Yeah, but
think
that's-
also what I think, yeah, I really liked it. I would say I don't remember if I said this in the recording or not, but it was my favorite of the three. Sonic movies so far.
Yeah, I think it's also my favorite of the three.
Hot take, I think 2 is the worst, but I don't think that's a popular opinion.
I don't.
I think most people like 2 more than 1.
2 and 1 are about the same for me, but 3's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I think I rate 1 and 2 pretty similarly. 1 a
Okay.
little higher, maybe. That's
I think I
my
prefer
instinct.
2.
It's not a big difference for me. Like, I don't think 2 is bad by any means.
Sonic
but
2.
No.
No. Will Haley Welch be in Sonic 4?
God, I hope not.
She is
Gonna be in jail
Amy.
by that point.
She won't be popular by the time Sonic 4 comes out.
She, where even is she? She disappeared. She did a rock pull and then went away.
But
Yeah,
she's still
instead
doing
of
a
Hawk
podcast,
Tua
probably, I
coin,
think.
it'll be Hawk Tua rings.
Got a nice ring to it, yeah.
They've run out of rings, by the way. They can't teleport anymore. They used the last one.
That's true.
Oh, this movie reminded me that Sonic comes from like owl parents.
That's
Owl
right. He
guardians.
came from,
I
like,
forgot
he's-
about. I completely forgot
Yeah.
about
What
that.
about Longclaw?
Long
Yeah, I
Claw,
was like-
yeah.
Yeah.
You monster. How could you? That's Sonic's mom.
No, she's not in the games, right? Isn't she new to the movies?
I think
I
she's
think
in
so.
Sonic. Isn't she in the Sonic Boom cartoon? She's like
Oh,
in something else. I think.
she might be in Sonic Boom, yeah.
I think
I don't
she's
know anything
Sonic
about Sonic
Boom.
Boom, though.
Not
I
me.
need to read the comics because I've been seeing a bunch of raw stuff from
Comics
like
go
the
hard
comic Twitter.
sometimes.
Yeah,
Like for no fucking reason. It'll just like be like the most depressing shit ever. If they go really hard, they could add Sally Acorn. All the old Sonic Underground characters.
Sally's pretty cool.
Sally is pretty cool. There's a rabbit in that too, right? With the robot arm.
Yeah, she's called Rabot.
Rabot.
Yeah,
She's got a southern accent. She could be Haley Welch.
No. Stop.
They're trying to find work for people.
She doesn't need it. She has enough money.
I guess she doesn't need it. You know who else doesn't need it? Scarlett Johansson, but she can still be Rouge.
That'd be okay.
I would be forced to watch it then. It'd be Scarlett Johansson cinema. So
Well, you'll be forced to watch it no matter what.
yeah, probably I'll
You're-
watch it.
You're on this train with You're stuck in here with us.
I can't
You won't be a
unbuckle
tourist
the
for
seatbelt.
long.
I'm trapped.
We'll make an honest Sonic fan out of you one of these days.
Well, I don't think that's happening.
Nah,
but
Well,
if you
I will say I have played Sonic on like the Sega Genesis when I was a kid, but that's
Yeah.
not the same. That's
like ironically, those are like my least favorite of the Sonic games, the old stuff in Genesis.
I don't like 2D Sonic.
No,
much.
2D Sonic it's too little screen space for how fast you're supposed to go. You can't see what
Exactly.
you can't see what you're running into.
Yeah, I
They
fully
did it-
agree.
They did it a bit better on Game Boy Advance because the screen is wider and they didn't put you in the center. But 3D
Mania
Yeah.
fixed a lot of that. It's widescreen now.
Mania
I recommend
is
that to
pretty
anyone.
good. Yeah, Mania is pretty great.
That and Sonic Shadow Generations. If you were to get one Bex, I'd get that because it has like every type of
Yes.
Sonic in it. It has classic, it has modern, and it has Shadow. So
Just added
you
Shadow.
get
yeah.
everything in that one package.
how
Generations
many
is a
Sonic
is a
games are there
great-
in total? Like
Oh, too
mainline
many to
Sonic.
count. Oh,
God.
mainline, that's different.
Like 20-ish.
Oh my god!
Well, I guess
It's
it
like-
depends what you count as mainline. It's like Advanced
Sonic-
Adventure, is that mainline?
I
Are we
imagine
counting
they're
Sonic-
actually like pretty quick to play because they're inherently about going fast. So like the levels are like
Well, in the mid
that.
2000s, they kind of forgot about that and made
Well,
a bunch
okay.
of very like they forced you to not play as Sonic a lot of the time.
Uh.
SA2, you don't play as Sonic and Shadow all the time either, but it's okay.
Yeah, you
Like
play
you-
as all 6. You play as Tails, Eggman, Knuckles, and
Like
Rouge as
there's
well.
like treasure hunting with Knuckles and Rouge and big robot sections as Tails and Eggman, but it's like it's okay. It's good. Good even.
And eventually
Speaking
you
of-
have to play as a werehog. And whenever that comes
Yeah.
up, I just think of the McMahon gif with him going, no.
Yeah, don't
No.
play Unleashed.
they gotta
that one-
release that game.
They tried to make Sonic into God of War, and it was bad.
Hedgehog of War.
Hog of War.
You know what it was missing though? It was missing those God of War sex scenes. That would have made the game.
The off-screen press circle to just slam Amy as hard as you can.
And then like vases and stuff start falling over. Yeah, that's what the game needed.
They could make a standalone Knuckles game that's like God of War.
Yeah.
Then you could fuck Rouge. Be perfect.
Well, okay.
Well, maybe.
And God of War, I found this out recently. God of War has an abandon your daughter
Cutscene.
Cutscene or
No, like quick time event.
event.
Smash X to push your daughter away from you. That's true.
That's hilarious to me.
That's very funny.
Well, I don't think I have much else to say about Sonic the movie. Sonic 3 specifically, I guess.
No, me neither. I kind of went through all my stuff. I just really want to replay the game now.
I've been playing it.
Yeah, I should.
I've been doing an archipelago with Sonic Adventure 2, which is like a randomizer, but you're randomized with other games as well.
What?
So you know how a randomizer works?
Sure. Yes.
I don't know about maybe not Sonic specifically. Let's use Pokemon as an example. I think that's the easiest one to explain.
Yeah, that one I get is like Pokemon.
Randomize everything. So and randomize all the items too, right? So any item I pick off the ground could be anything. It could be a badge. It could be any HM, something like that, right? I beat a gym leader. What do they give me? Maybe they give me like 2 potions. Maybe they give me like or 2 Pokeballs, and I'm just like, fuck you. That's a waste of my time. Instead of the badge that I was supposed to give me. So that's how a randomizer works. An archipelago is you randomize like a bunch of games and you shuffle all their items amongst each other too. So for example, if I'm playing Pokemon and I beat a gym leader, I might get Knuckles' Mystic Melody. And now in Sonic, that's unlocked now for me.
What?
That's insane.
Are you playing 2 games at the same time?
You don't have to have them on at the same time because it's all run by a server.
But then you're like in Sonic and you're like, man, I need the bounce jump for this. I can't do anything more in Sonic. I need other things. It's time to turn off Sonic and go play a different game and try to find. Is it at least made in a way so that you're guaranteed to get it before you need it? So like if you have to beat all of Pokemon, right? But you need something in Pokemon to beat Pokemon, and you don't get it until you get the bounce jump in. It's like
there's built-in logic. You can't be like hard stuck.
They can't log each other out.
Right, exactly. Okay. So I have an archipelago going that has Sonic Adventure 2 in it. My friend and I have a combined 24 games that we have connected to each other.
That sounds fucking insane.
It's so much fun to just be like, oh, what do I want to play today? I think I'll play some Kingdom Hearts. And I'll just play Kingdom Hearts, open up a chest. Hey, I got something for Sonic. I got something for Pokemon in this chest. And I'm just playing through. It's a great time. Highly recommend looking at the archipelago if you like randomizers. They're very fun.
It's like that's nuts.
I put RuneScape in one once. It didn't work super well. It's a little slow.
Oh fuck RuneScape. This is behind the paid section. Actually, you can't.
It's all. There's no paid in it. At least it's all meant to be played free to play.
Okay, good.
So that's good there. But yeah, Archipelago very fun. It's very interesting. Very very cool ideas.
Sounds like fucking nonsense, but also interesting.
Yeah,
I'd look that up. Maybe not. I'd go crazy. Can I just mix Zenless Zone Zero and Sonic 2?
I know Zenless Zone Zero.
Because then it's gotcha. Then I have to get the bounce.
Pay us money to get rolls, and maybe you'll get the bounce boots.
And then in Sonic, I'll just get characters. That'll be a sweet deal.
There's like a list of supported games that it works on because like people have to actually make it and actually make it so it works properly. There aren't a ton of games available. I'd say there's probably like with 50 plus. I don't know, maybe 100. I don't know. A lot of them are just one guy who thought I felt like coding it, so I did it, and it,
supported games. Jesus.
And that's not all of them. Those are just the ones that are like fully finished. There are ones that are like in beta and stuff you can find elsewhere, like on the Discord.
Mega Man Battle Network. That would take so long. Those games are not fast.
They're not just in beta; they're in generation beta.
Dark Souls 3. Jesus Christ. Some of these would be pretty fast, but others.
See,
would
Dark Souls 3 is
not.
really funny because you can be playing like Super Mario 64 and you'll find a Dark Souls item. It's just the edgiest name like you can possibly think of. You'll be like, oh, you found the blood of the Death Maiden. And it's like, all right, sure thing, Mario.
Shard of the First Sin. Here you go. All right. Well, anybody have any final thoughts about the movie?
No, I don't. I feel like I said everything I had to say.
All right. Well, I don't either. How about you, Bex?
I have not much to say. I said everything I needed to say.
Are you excited for 4?
I apologize for being kind of the hater of this movie. I knew going in. As soon as I finished the movie, I'm like, oh, I'm good. I knew everyone's gonna like it, and I'm gonna be the snob, unfortunately.
I
don't feel like you were unreasonable or anything.
I don't even get the feeling that you were like a hater of it. It's a reasonable critique.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I didn't have a problem with anything you said. Everything you said, I was like, I get it, right? I understand where you're coming from, which I don't feel like is a hater at all.
Yeah, I had to pad all my critiques with reason, so I was like, oh, so I come off more reasonable. But
everything made sense.
God, I hate this movie. I should really make that
Sonic 4. Like, of course.
Yeah, we'll be back here in 2 years.
Yeah.
The thing
I think
is,
even if you weren't in love with it, though, it sounds like you still enjoyed watching it for the most part.
2 out of 5.
I think I should have gone at a time where there weren't a bunch of kids, if that made sense.
Oh yeah, how was your theater?
Oh yeah,
real
yeah,
quick.
Bex, you like talking about your theater experience.
So I went and saw this at like 7 p.m., which I thought maybe the kids would be like chilled out by then.
No.
Kids are just running around. They're just sipping on their Dr. Pepper. They're just like having a sugar rush, which is fine. I understand the kids are not like theater trained. I get it. But like for my own personal experience, I may have to go at a different time for kids. If I were to go see kids movies in the future, I got to think about what time of day I'm seeing them. Because the same thing with Sonic 2 is that I saw it at like noon, and there were just kids just having the time of their lives, not even paying attention to the movie, which I get it, they're not going to. But
see, this is the boon of watching it in a non-English speaking country, is that the kids all went to see the dubbed version at noon. And I got to see the English version later with barely anybody in the theater.
Oh, nice.
really?
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Like, some kids were there, and I was like, they seem too young to be able to keep up with, like, speaking English and reading
Did they keep up with
but
it?
I think so. They seemed excited about it afterwards. I'm like, that's impressive. But we learn English pretty dang quick over here.
My theater was mostly normal, mostly quiet. There was like one crying baby in the back or whatever, but
then
really the most disruptive thing I had was there was a kid like 2 rows directly behind me who read any text that was on screen. He read out loud.
Nice.
That sounds like a very kid thing to do.
But also, shows he was paying attention to what was happening. I
Yes.
suppose if you think about it that way. He was definitely into the movie. He was definitely paying attention and reading things that were happening on screen. And I don't really have a problem with that. He wasn't loud. It was like I could kind of hear him. He's not like screaming it out loud, so.
Yeah. It had a very normal, calm.
And I think I went at 6 p.m. on a Saturday.
There were 2 adults sitting behind me that seemed like longtime fans of the movie. They were talking a bunch of shit about like other franchises before the movie started. They sounded like they were 40 years old. I was like, bro, come on.
Is this
You're
like
at a Sonic movie.
are we back in the 90s with Sega and Nintendo?
It honestly, they honestly sounded like the comic book guy from The Simpsons. That's if I could find a reference. Yeah, that's actually what they sound. I was like, oh my god, it's the comic book guy in real life.
Sega does, Nintendo don't.
Yeah.
It's got blast processing, guys.
Yeah, my theater experience was
Okay.
Yeah. It's the same exact screen I went to for Craven. The exact same
Oh,
auditorium.
Nice, nice.
Same people.
I
Same
keep
everything.
getting subjected to the same room. It's the very last auditorium in the theater, and it's like the most. It's actually, I think, where I saw Morbius as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
God,
it's
nothing,
they keep.
nothing but Kino in that room, that auditorium.
I don't know what it is, but I keep going to that same auditorium. But
That damn smile. It all starts.
What about
Speaking
you,
of
Damn
Kino,
Did you have anything in your theater?
everyone was pretty chill for the most part. I think there was a little bit of like hooing and hawing and talking throughout, but not that much to bother me. But when there was time to lock in, like 15 uninterrupted minutes of super hedgehogs fighting, everyone shut up and just watched. And especially on like the moon
Yeah.
scene with Sonic and Shadow, I think everyone was like, "Oh, this is like the serious scene of the movie. Let's
Right.
like lock in and not make noise."
The heart
And
to
like,
heart.
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what I was gonna say earlier is, I really like the Sega logo coming in because it just is made up of a bunch of Sega games, and I can go like, "Oh yeah, I see Yakuza, I see
Yeah.
Persona 3, I see
Master Blaster.
Phantasy Star, I see like
I thought the same
a
thing
bunch
for
of
that
stuff."
too.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, they're
cool.
doing the Marvel style collage logo thing.
Mhm.
Honestly, I respect it. I really like those because it's just a kind of a cool, like, look at all this cool shit we have. And for the most part, Sega is like, hey, you actually use all this stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not like Astrobot where you play through it. It's like, look at all these cool PlayStation franchises that you haven't seen a new game of in 20 years. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. Can we have one? Can we have
Right.
this game, please?
No. You cannot. You can have another Sonic movie and you'll like it.
You can
Or
have The Last
movie
of
like
Us
it.
Part 2 remastered.
Exactly.
I mean, you mean Naughty Dog's like 10-year roadmap? Just
Yeah.
remasters. Oh, but they're also making that one new one. Heretic? Yeah.
Galactic.
Yeah. Well, my final thoughts is I'm super happy to see so many young kids getting into Sonic, and especially getting into Shadow. I think Shadow was a big selling point of this. Everybody I've heard talk about it in the theater, it's been little kids being like, fuck yes, Shadow is so cool. I want to play the game with Shadow. Like wanting Sonic Generations because Shadow is in it. I'm just so happy this still vibes with people.
Yeah, it's really cool.
10-year-olds are the same no matter whether it was 2002 or now. 10-year-olds are like, fuck, Shadow is the coolest shit. He's so sick. He rides a hog and he has a gun.
He mogged Team Sonic by himself.
He's solo Team Sonic. It gets a Shadow out of 10. This is fucking great.
Shout
So,
out
yeah.
10. That's great.
So let's wrap it up.
All
Thank
right.
you, all of you guys, for joining me once more, talking about Sonic.
Man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. Well, anytime a Sonic movie comes along.
Absolutely.
And thank you all for listening, spending some time with us. And we'll see you again in 2 years when another Sonic movie is out. Let's see who they
Alright,
are.
see ya.
See ya.
It was fun.
Let's all go fast.